What's poppin', friends? Welcome back to Football Therapy with me, your host Jan. I hope you're doing well. I really do hope that. Welcome back to Chelsea News. Of course, the daily series here on the channel where I reflect on what's being said about Chelsea, aggregating the world's news regarding the Blues, giving you my opinion on it, but more importantly, as always, asking for yours. Fabrizio Romano has given an update on why Chelsea recalled Cesare Casadei, so some insight there. And also, Benjamin Sesko has got a release clause, and Football.London is talking about a move to Chelsea. Potentially. Strap yourselves in, get comfortable. If you want to support the content, you're welcome to simply by liking and subscribing. A quick shout out to my second channel, Football Yannick, where I speak about non-Chelsea related things. I'm uploading on that channel all the time. It's a little bit more of a relaxed format, I guess a bit more podcasty. If you think you might be interested in that, do go subscribe to Football Yannick. Just like Football Therapy, it's Football Yannick. My latest upload is on the allegations regarding Chelsea, but from a more neutral perspective, as well as Manchester City's 115 Premier League charges. Of course, it's a huge talking point at the moment, with both Nottingham Forest and Everton being charged with breaches of the profit and sustainability rules. So go check it out. Thanks for supporting me, friends. I really do appreciate it. And let's get into today's video. Let's start off with Casadei then. Fabrizio Romano tweets, Cesare Casadei will start training under Mauricio Pochettino already today as Chelsea decided to recall him. Understand the club believes Casadei has huge potential and can help the squad with immediate effect. Yeah, we did speak about this in yesterday's video. It's a big deal recalling Cesare Casadei from Leicester City. A Leicester City that's playing well and is going to win the championship. He's playing men's football. This is his first campaign playing men's football. He's away from home. He's having an exciting, nurturing experience that will develop him greatly. He's being utilised as well. He's got 14 appearances in the league. He's also played in the FA Cup and the League Cup for Leicester City, respectively. So he's been used as a closer, and more he's being trusted. He scored a couple of great goals in the league as well. So he's a part of that team, and he would have a trophy lift at the end of the season. You know, his first trophy in men's football. In a way, well, not in a way, Chelsea are robbing him of that, but as is their right. I said it in yesterday's video on Football Therapy, so, you know, I'll go into detail, consider watching that video. But ultimately, it probably will make him feel good in a way as well. He's feeling wanted by Chelsea, and that tweet from Fabrizio Romano pretty much enforces that notion, man, that Pochettino's look to him and think, yeah, he can help us right now, actually. Bring him home. He's got 6 months experience. That would have done him good. And Chelsea already know how good Cesare Casadei is. They've seen him play for their development squad. He scored some absolute wonder goals, some long ranges. He also scores a lot of headers. He's an intelligent player, and he's good at assessing space and knowing who's around him. No, I'm quite excited, man, because at the moment, where Chelsea are this season, if he gets slam dunked into the team and does well, I ain't got no problem. Long-term, Enzo Fernandez, Moises Caicedo will be amazing assets for us. They will. And, you know, Conor Gallagher's been amazing this season, but no one's safe. Well, maybe Caicedo's safe, but no one's really safe. If someone comes in, scores goals from midfields, gets some assists and makes players around him better, then stay in the team. Enzo's had some excellent performances this season. Of course, the first performance against Liverpool was outstanding. Maybe he needs a bit of a rest, you know, maybe he needs some time to chill. I don't know. But the point being is, I'm all for Cesare Casadei being utilised this season if he's going to make us better. Do let me know what you think though, friends. Comment down below. Let's move on and talk a little bit more about transfers and what we're doing in the January transfer window, courtesy of an article from Football.London. Josh Holland writes, the fact Chelsea have got this far into a January transfer window without making a single signing is surprising. This time last year, 5 players had already been signed in Benoit Badiashile, David Datro Fofana, Andres Santos, Joao Felix, and Michailo Mudryk, and Noni Madueke, Malo Gusto, and Enzo Fernandez would all follow in the final 11 days of the window, of course taking the spend up to over £300 million. Yeah, I do kind of have PTSD, or at least like dopamine burnout from the last January transfer window. I think that was the record for a January window, but yeah, I remember covering it here on Football Therapy, and as a Chelsea fan, I was just super excited. And that Enzo Fernandez announcement video just hit different, bro. That absolutely slapped. Enzo Fernandez, or however it goes. I was buzzing on that. And now it's kind of like, but I'm kind of enjoying the opposite tranquil time, you know? Yeah, Premier League profit and sustainability rules have played a big role in the lack of activity at Stamford Bridge this time around. In an ideal world, Mauricio Pochettino would welcome a number of new faces to his squad. Really? I don't know. So, with that in mind, Football.London takes a look at the business Chelsea should aim to complete in the remaining 2 weeks of the January transfer window. As a priority, Chelsea need reinforcements in a number of areas. A new centre-forward, a new centre-back have been earmarked as positions in Pochettino's squad that need strengthening. Can I just say at this point as well, rightly, many Chelsea fans, content creators, and people in football have made the case of just not signing anyone. I mean, like, recalling Cassidy helps in midfield. Jackson will come back, Nkunku will come back, maybe even Wesley Fofana will come back this season, fullbacks coming back into fitness. Chelsea might have enough. We don't really. This is the issue with Chelsea at the moment. For Mauricio Pochettino, for the sporting directors, for the owners, we don't really know what we have. I mean, and that's kind of dumb because we're like middle of January. We still don't really know what we have, which is wild when you think about it. But that's largely down to injuries, and that's largely down to just a new squad learning how to play, with each other, a new coaching team learning how to get their ideas into these players. It's all kind of slowed the process down, but really, in reality, and most Chelsea fans would say this, we don't properly know exactly what we have in our squad and how well they can perform yet. Numerous strikers have been linked with taking up the centre-forward spot at Chelsea, but no one has come close to joining. One man who should be considered is RB Leipzig striker Benjamin Sesko. The young striker, who is also a target of Arsenal, has a reported £43 million release clause in his contract in Germany. Despite it becoming active in the summer, paying close to that fee shouldn't be a problem in convincing Leipzig this month. Sesko netted 29 goals in 79 appearances for Red Bull Salzburg before moving to the Bundesliga, where he's netted 7. However, his tall build and electric pace makes him a favourable replacement for Nicholas Jackson in attack. Yeah, now Benjamin Sesko's quite like a sort of hipster's choice, like loads of football nerds have liked him for a while. But those numbers for me, he's still really young, he's not going to bring that seniority in the front line, and those numbers aren't like sensational in the Austrian Bundesliga. Now, of course, a player going from Salzburg to Leipzig is a well-trodden path and kind of makes sense, and he's not their first choice striker at the moment, looking at his number of appearances for RB Leipzig. So how is he going to be, unless Chelsea just want a body up front and a striker? I think he's got like 3 or 4 goals in the league this season. I mean, it doesn't scream a guy who's just going to bag loads of goals for you and bring seniority. In fact, it's kind of the opposite. But at the same time, he's a popular footballer in European football, certainly by all kinds of football fans. And for a reasonable release clause, and maybe because he's not their first choice, you could say have £50 million, and they go, all right, you can have him in January. So I'm going to defer to you guys who watch more German football, that perhaps you guys know how good Benjamin Sesko really is. Comment down below, let me know your feelings about him. Do you think he could contribute something to Chelsea? Would he be worth the money? Is it what we need right now? So yeah, leave your comments in the comment section below, and let's continue this article. At centre-back, there are 3 names being touted on the club's shortlist, joining Crystal Palace star Mark Guehi and Nice defender Jean-Claire Todibo. Ousmane Diomande has emerged as a possible candidate. So Football.London understands the Blues have opened up talks with Sporting last month, but his £69 million release clause presents a difficult decision. The Ivory Coast international has been linked with Arsenal and Liverpool, meaning Chelsea would be smart to swoop in now before seeing him join one of their Premier League rivals. PSR limitations mean testing the water with a proposed loan move that includes an obligation to pay his release clause in the summer, a method used throughout football nowadays. I'm pretty sure we did that with Christian Pulisic and Malo Gusto, actually. Perhaps the most incoming and dream window situation is Alphonso Davies. The Bayern Munich left-back has emerged as a surprise target for Chelsea amid growing speculation over his future. Ben Chilwell's continued injury setbacks have become a problem for Pochettino, and Davies' defensive security and offensive ability would be an upgrade. trade, reports have indicated that Chilwell could be included in their proposal, continuing Bayern's trend of signing England internationals. Let's talk about that for a moment. Now, Alphonso Davies feels like he should be 27 now, but I think he's like 23. So he obviously started very, very young, the Canadian international. He's amazing. For me, he was like the Reece James at left back. You know, so to have Reece James at right back and Alphonso Davies at left back would be amazing. And also, he's like a Chelsea fan, isn't he? He says he wants to play in the Premier League, and he'd love the team he watches the most in the Premier League is Chelsea. So that's a big, big tick, tick, tick. Now, I'm very uncomfortable with getting rid of Ben Chilwell. I love Ben Chilwell. He loves Chelsea. He's very good. He's the vice captain. And he's probably, like, in many ways, as a character, the most suitable character for captain for Chelsea. And that's, I'm not saying Reece James shouldn't be, but we've gone over this over and over and over. Look, I could totally see him going to Bayern Munich. Thomas Tuchel loves Ben Chilwell also. Ben Chilwell was amazing in the Champions League final that won Thomas Tuchel and Chelsea the Champions League, so you can understand why Tuchel would like him. Of course, the biggest issue presented here is Alphonso Davies will be on a gargantuan sum in terms of wages. Now, if his future isn't sorted out over in Bayern, yes, the transfer fee might not be a huge problem to get him over here. And yes, if he told him as a target destination, do you want to come and play for Chelsea in the Premier League? I think he'd probably go, yeah, I'd dig that, I like Chelsea. But he's probably on like 250k a week, and we're offering players about, 80 to 100k a week, 110k a week for the under 25s. Even if we give him like a structured incentive-based wage packet, for me, it just seems like, how are you going to do that? Unless he wants to sign a 9-year deal with Chelsea with like a wage packet that could just constantly increase. I don't know. It seems like a bit of a dream though. And, I feel bad for Ben Chilwell. Let me know what you think of Davies in the comment section below. For Chelsea to be active in the January window, they must sell players. Ian Maatsen has already departed on loan to Borussia Dortmund, but there remains a plethora of players who could still leave. Trevoh Chalobah, Malang Sarr, Conor Gallagher and Armando Broja have all been linked with a move away from West London. In terms of raising funds, Gallagher and Broja are the two likeliest to leave. I disagree! Gallagher has been on Tottenham's radar for some time. Despite being a regular in Pochettino's squad, the contract stalemate has left Spurs interested, and cashing in would only bolster their hopes of signing players. Broja, who struggled to break into Chelsea's team, is wanted by a whole host of Premier League clubs, and while his reported £50 million price tag has raised eyebrow, financial fair play restraints would mean the price tag is justified. I don't reckon Broja and Gallagher are the most likely to leave. They are just the two that would financially boost Chelsea the most. Both young, not English, Armando Broja is Albanian, but both young, homegrown players that would represent pure profit on the books. As we know, the owners look, Gallagher's going nowhere this January. We've spoken about that here on the channel before, reflected on reports saying that. Broja, maybe, but that would leave Chelsea very, very short on the striker front, and we'd have to be bringing one in. Tough. Anyway, I want to put it out to you guys. Let me know what you think. Please do comment down below. I can't wait to read your thoughts on everything I've spoken about. Thank you for supporting the content by liking and subscribing. Do go check out Football Yannick. Regular uploads on that channel too. Alright guys, thanks for joining me. Hopefully see you soon. Take care. Peace.